This is a straightforward blue-yellow chill beatdown deck. It's not too fancy. You can change and modify however way you want. Add your own tech cards. Of course, just redesign the deck however way you want. But my main focus on this deck is Chilled, of course, which is the leader. He makes token every time he attacks, and he has Awaken. When you have 4 or less life, you can flip him over, draw 2 cards, and then on his Awaken side, which is Chilled, Harbinger of Destruction, during your turn he gets 5,000 extra, so it'll be 15,000 on your turn. And then auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card and play 1 Chilled army token, with 10,000 power on your field. So both sides, make tokens when you attack. But on his Awaken side, he gets an extra 5k during your turn. But the whole point is token generation, right? You're making tokens with 10k power that you can use to battle with. So you don't have to focus too much on putting too many attackers into the deck, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to focus on the tokens being my attackers, my swords, and I have a lot of blockers in the deck, my shields. And I splashed in some blue that way, mainly so I can use Whis' Cohesion and also be able to use Senzu Bean. So for the blue blockers, we got Guardian of Kai. I'm trying to keep the blockers on low cost, because I want to save some energies for other stuff, and I also don't want to play too many energy. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm just like every turn dropping in energy. Since the highest cost card in the deck is 5 for Chilled, but he's just a tech card, just a little filler, just 2 copies of him in the deck, just because I can. I could have threw anything else. I could have threw in like 2 objections, just in case in the beginning in the game I draw the 1 objection. It'll be a mana ramp, which you can do if you want, of course. But it's not really that necessary, since this deck is trying to use like 2 or less energies throughout the game. So again, Guardian North Kai. He's a 1 blue energy, 5k blocker. Nothing else to say, they're just blockers, right? We have Taunting Piccolo, a 2 cost, 10k blocker. Courageous Heart Yajirobe. He's a blocker with Revenge, so that's very useful. I will definitely like more blockers with Revenge, obviously. So if later sets to come out with more blockers with Revenge, then I can upgrade the deck with more blockers with Revenge. Now for the yellow blockers, Ginyu Forest Goldo. He has blocker. He also has auto. When you play this card, if your leader card is Frieza's Army, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 1 or less and switch it to rest mode. Chill is a Frieza clan, not a Frieza army, so you won't be using that effect at all, but he's a nice little 1-drop yellow blocker. Then you got Kui, or Chewy, however way you pronounce his name, 12k blocker. Then you got your big boy right here, 20k blocker, your pivotal defense Cyclopean Guard. Obviously for blocking, you're not really going to be attacking with your blockers as much or at all, because the tokens are going to do most of the work. And his permanent abilities are relevant. If you have big Getty Star, if it's not on your field, you can't attack him, but he's a blocker. Obviously the whole point is he's a 20k blocker. You expect him to stay on the field a lot longer than most of the other blockers. Then Kabira, the obedient soldier, he does work with the chill leader. He's a blocker, and then he has active battle once per turn. Switch one of your chilled army tokens to rest mode. Choose up to one of your chilled or chills army. It gains 5,000 power for the duration of the battle. So it's a way you can use your tokens to boost, you know, one of your chilled. It's funny because the thing is, what you can do is tap a token and then boost up Kabira, because Kabira is a chill's army card. So of course you can boost him up. And he's a 10k blocker, of course. And then we got Sid Levine, 1 blue. Activate battle. Choose up to one of your cards. It gains 5k power for the duration of the turn. Then choose up to 2 of your energies and switch them to active mode. So it's a way you can power up, you know, your tokens mainly, right? And then be able to untap your energies. So that way you can use them during your opponent's turn to use your other extra cards, or just to even summon more blockers, you know what I mean? And then we got YUGIOH's Cohesion, counter attack, negate the attack, then choose up to one of your energies and switch it to active mode. So essentially it's a free negate. Then we have Bad Ring Laser, 1 yellow energy, counter, place 1 yellow card from your hand to the drop area to negate a counter. So this will give you some control against your opponent who uses cards. In case your opponent uses a YUGIOH's Cohesion, you can use Bad Ring Laser to negate their YUGIOH's Cohesion card. That way they can't that we can negate their negate, and then your attack will go through, especially if you're trying to go for game. Then Crusher Ball, counter play. The battle card played is played to rest mode, so that's a very good card. It only costs 1 yellow. And this deck is largely more yellow than blue, so you'll definitely be able to afford it. Death Razor, active main. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and then KO it. And of course, you know, if your opponent attacks, their battle card will be rested, so you can use this to take them out. You can of course use Crusher Ball to put them rested, so that way you can Death Razor the next turn. And then of course we got Chilled Army General, permanent. All of your Chilled Army's tokens can combo even if they're in rest mode, because of course the whole goal is to attack with them, right? Just make tokens attack, make tokens attack. But the fact that you can also use them to block if you get Chilled Army General on the field, you can use them to combo and power up your leader, which is the main thing you want to do. Obviously you want to protect your life points, because you don't necessarily need to awaken. But if you want to awaken, that's on you. And then active main, switch one of your chill tokens to rest position. This card gains triple strike, so of course he could be a win con. Being able to deal 3 damage with 1 attack is very useful, but it's largely relying on your tokens to do a lot of the heavy lifting, as it were. But it doesn't hurt to, you know, to have a Chilled Army General just in case. And that's the end of the video. Yeah, there's no extra little tip in here that I can think of. like whatever hand you draw, you might want to keep it in play. You can change it however way you want. So I know on the metal cooler deck profile, I specifically state to put the metal cooler cards back into the deck because you want to mill them. So you rather put them back in the deck and then draw into your extra cards, you know, your counters and stuff like that, your negates, draw them, and then mill your metal cooler cards, and then bring them back from the graveyard onto the field, or from the graveyard to your hand, and then play them that way. But in here, you don't have to modify your hand in any way. Do what you want, of course. If you want to put your blockers back into the deck and to hopefully draw your extra cards, right, and then play that way, you can do that. That's up to you. I don't you know, think you shouldn't. You could do that if you want, or just play the hand that you were dealt as is. And that's the end of the video.